Hello, everyone, and welcome to your September General Energy Forecast for 2024. So, for this month, we have a wonderful Ascended Master who has stepped forward and has three wonderful messages for us. And that Ascended Master is Lord Kuthumi. Now, Lord Kuthumi's first message is about allowing yourself not only to be teachable, but also to be a teacher. So, how do we get ourselves into that willingness to be teachable? That means that we have to let go of everything we think and everything we think we know about how something should or could or would have been, and allow ourselves to be hollow so that so spirit can fill us with its knowledge. Now, then do we become teachers? We become teachers by demonstrating what we have learned. Okay, and that's the second message of Lord Kuthumi, which is wisdom, taking practical steps towards your goals, applying what you have learned in the past 6 months and applying it in the here and now, because we've been playing with a lot of ideas. And what it means to play with an idea is like, let's just take, for example, positive thinking. Well, we're really good at being like, okay, well, I should probably look at this differently, or I'm told if I look at things differently, then, I'll see them differently. And, we play with the idea, and then an opportunity presents itself for us to look at a situation differently. Maybe we've looked at it in a negative context before. And yet we now have this knowledge of, okay, well, I can look at it differently. I can ask spirit, spirit, how would you see this? How would love see this? How could I look at this differently? And yet we don't do it. We're just like, oh, well, I'll just keep looking at it in the same way that I always have. And spirit is saying this month is about applying what you have learned and really being a demonstration of that in whatever way, shape, or form. And then Lord Kuthumi's third message is whatever action steps, whatever wisdom you are applying, make sure it is in alignment with love, with joy, with happiness for the highest good of all. Really making sure that you're shifting, you're pivoting, you're changing your thoughts, your ideas over to love, and just asking yourself, how would love see this? Or how would love respond to this? Or how can I be of service in this moment? Practical steps, one by one. We're not looking for you to get from, 0 to 100, because you can't get from 0 to 100 necessarily in one step yet. We still need to take, okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way through. Maybe we'll skip some once we've kind of gotten past the first 10. Well, maybe we'll skip some steps. But for right now, it is one step at a time. Now, with those messages over from our Ascended Master, we now have the the new moon coming up September 2nd, which is a fertile time for us to set our intentions. But that's not only what this is for. It's not just for that new moon. September is really a fertile month, again, for us to begin to practice walking our walk, talking our talk, aligning ourselves with love, aligning ourselves with who we truly are in every moment that we have. The universe is going to give us a lot of opportunities this month to really practice these practical steps, this practical wisdom that we have learned. And it's telling us that we need to tune in often, get out of autopilot, because this is the high priestess reversed in the traditional tarot. And so it's saying, don't go on autopilot. Just like, I'm just going to do what I've always done and expect a different result. Well, remember, that's insanity. If you keep on doing what you did, then you're always going to get what you got. And if we want something new, then that means that we have to do something new, do something a little bit different. If you know that, 96th Street is always super full of traffic at 9 a.m., maybe you want to take a different way. Maybe there's a different way to get to your job, but looking into that. And so that's what this card is representing. Tune into your intuition. Let go of what you think and what you think you know, and really come within. And again, what is it that you really would like to experience? There's that segment intending that Abraham talks about, Abraham Hicks, and you can just say to yourself, what is it that I want to experience in this moment? Maybe you're stuck in traffic. Well, I want to experience joy. Don't get emotionally attached, because our next card is actually emotional withdrawal. It's telling us to not say, well, the only way I can be happy is if traffic moves. I just want to be happy in this moment. I don't know what that looks like, but I am willing to kind of take a step back and not plug in and say, well, the only way I can be happy is if this traffic moves, or the only way I can be happy is if I get this. The only way I can be happy is if this happens. Let go of that. And again, come within. What is it that I would like to experience? And is that an emotional state that I can activate in this now moment? Is this something that I can truly feel in this moment? Can I pivot to it? Can I shift to it? And in what way can I do that? Can I just remember something from the past? Can I think about something that I'm excited about in the future? And again, we're not projecting there. We're just pulling that emotional state into this present moment. And that's all that we really want to do. Because then we have the universe coming in the reverse position, or the world card in the traditional tarot coming in that reverse position. And all it really is representing is for us to, number one, to know that there are closures and completions, that things are closing up. They're just not closing as fast as we want them to, number one. Number two is to step out of that stagnation. Don't get stuck in your stinking thinking, because we all have a tendency to do so, that we'll get stuck in kind of like this downward spiral. Stop. If you can be aware of that, if you can notice it, stop. Take a deep breath. And again, you don't have to be like, oh, let me just focus on joy. You don't have to do that. You can focus on appreciation. You can even focus on well, what must I believe in order for this to be happening? Looking at the beliefs, looking at the thoughts that are there, because sometimes it's just an autopilot. It's a stagnant state. We're just used to the same old, that we don't even notice it. And that this universe card is saying, hey, it's time for you to pay attention. And not only that, something else that the world card reverse is representing is it's representing that there may be this sense of delay, or this sense of like, oh, nothing's happening the way that I want it to, so I'm going to give up. Stop that thinking. And what is it that can re-energize this passion for a project? Or what is it that you can do to re-energize yourself in this project in whatever way, shape, or form? We want to, again, it's all about letting go of stagnation. How can I re-energize this? How can I look at this differently? And then what are the practical steps that I can take in order to get there, that are not necessarily involved with, well, if I get this promotion, then I can be happy. It's more like, okay, well, what drew me to this job in the first place? What is it? What is one thing that I can say that I enjoy about it? And is that something that I still enjoy? Tuning in this fertile territory that's going to help us to grow. Maybe you're going to realize, you know what, this job doesn't suit me anymore. Maybe we're going to realize that what we once loved about it is no longer a principal tenet of whatever job you're in, or whatever situation that you are in, relationship that you're in. And we have this fertile ground to come within, take the practical steps forward that we need to take, that are in alignment with love, joy, happiness, the truth of who we are. And that's really, as we do that, we are going to gain this sense of traction. We're like, okay, now I feel like there's some movement, and it's going to be a little bit scary because it's new. And some things, again, we're in the fall season, so things are going to be falling away. We're going to be letting go of things that no longer serve us. letting go of relationships, situations, patterns of thinking, patterns of behavior. We're in the fall. This is what happens. It's a natural state. And again, if we want that change, just like the leaves change, then we have to be willing to be an active participant in it by shifting, even if it is, because the journey of 1,000 miles does not begin necessarily with a step, but with a mindset. If you can just shift your mind to, you know what, I'm willing to look at this differently, I'm willing to change the way I'm seeing this, then you're going to be able to you're going to see other steps that maybe you didn't see before, because you're not going to be in that same mental space. So that is the reading, the general overall energies for the month of September. I thank you for joining me. I thank you for being here. And if you're interested in a more in-depth look at the month of September for you personally, then feel free to go visit my website, awakeningmiracles.org, where you can look at my miracle mindset, which is where every week you will get a personalized reading for you for the energies of that week for the whole month of September. It's every Monday. If you want it pre-recorded, and if it's something you want to do live, where you and I just get on and we kind of look at the energies, you get your messages, tools, tips, techniques. That's something that we can schedule and we can do live, which is really something that I enjoy doing as well, because it gives us that time together to really talk about, okay, here's kind of the energies we're looking at, the frequencies, the energies, here's some of the messages. And then if you have questions, comments, or concerns in that moment, that's where we can really get in tune with spirit and say, okay, well, what's a tool? What's a tip? What's a technique that we can use for this week? And I just think it's so fun that as I said that, there's this beautiful monarch butterfly that just kind of landed on the window. So change and transformation is on the horizon. What are the practical steps that are in alignment with love that you can begin to take towards where it is you would like to be? What needs to fall away this month? Is it a mindset? Is it a pattern of behavior? Is it a relationship, romantic, familial, or friend? Is it a situation that no longer serves you, that you just need to let go of the outcome of? Is there an agenda that you have that you're saying, okay, this is the only thing that's going to make me happy? So looking at those things and looking at the delays, and not as tests from the universe, not as the universe telling you you're not worthy, but as the universe simply saying to you, hey, I'm just giving you an opportunity to vibrationally line up with this, to mentally, emotionally, physically line up with what I already have for you. And, that's where triggers are going to come up. And that's okay that triggers come up, because triggers are coming up, number one, to really kind of say, okay, the universe telling you these are the rocks in your pocket that are keeping you so weighed down. I can't give you something new if you're holding on to all of this stuff. I want to give you new things, but I can't give them to you because you're not willing to let go of the things you are still holding on to that are no longer serving you, no longer serve a purpose. And that's something else you can ask yourself. What's the purpose of this in my life right now? Is it teaching me something, or has it just been such a consistent state that I've become stagnant in it? And am I ready for something new? So again, thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. And I will talk with you soon. Bye for now.